Well, Don's bigger than he is.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to Ozark City Hall. We're glad you're here for the Board of Aldermen meeting and engaging with your elected officials. Listening to perspectives of city residents, business owners, and other community members helps our elected leaders make more informed decisions. Before the meeting begins, let's review our rules of order. These ensure the meeting is orderly and efficient while allowing everyone who would like to speak an opportunity to do so. There are two opportunities for you to speak: during the agenda's scheduled visitor and guest portion of the meeting and during public discussion of new bills and resolutions. During the agenda's scheduled visitor and guest portion, anyone who signed up at the city clerk's office before 5 p.m. the Wednesday before the meeting can speak to aldermen about the topic they specified. Now, in the public discussion of new bills and resolutions, that allows you to give comments for aldermen to consider before they make a decision. The consent agenda bills are not open to comment. If you want to speak about an item on the consent agenda, you must sign up by noon the Friday before the meeting. You can do that by contacting the city clerk in writing or fill out a card in the council chambers before the meeting starts. Write down the specific bill and give the card to the city clerk before the consent agenda is set. That bill will then go to a first reading, which is open to public discussion, and anyone may speak about it. Anytime anyone is speaking, the following rules apply. First, only one person should speak at a time. Please be respectful of the person speaking and hold your comments until it's your turn. Second, anyone speaking must do so from the podium and speak into the microphone. Third, you must first provide your name and address in writing to the city clerk before beginning your comments. These forms are provided near the entrance. You also must state your name and address to the Board of Aldermen using the podium microphone. Fourth, all comments should be addressed to the mayor and aldermen. Finally, all speakers have 5 minutes to make their comments. The mayor or alderman may have additional questions for speakers after their 5-minute time limit. Occasionally, the board will invite someone to make a presentation at the meeting. This is only to give information to the board about a specific topic. These presenters will have no time limit on giving their information. This meeting will be live streamed and recorded with video and audio unless there are technical difficulties. The use of cell phones or other devices is discouraged during the meeting. Please silence your phones right now. Again, thank you for being here and engaging with the City of Ozark. The meeting will begin shortly.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Alderman Aiken.
Here.
Alderman Campbell is absent. Alderman Galloway.
Here.
Alderman Hutchinson.
Here.
Alderman Metcalf.
Here.
Alderman Schneider.
Here.
We have 5 aldermen present. We have a quorum.
Okay. Thank you very much. We have 1 set of minutes before us tonight. This is the December 1st regular session minutes. Are there any questions about as printed these particular minutes? Okay, not seeing any. Is there a motion we accept them as printed?
I move that we accept these minutes as printed December 1st.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor of voting on the motion to approve the December 1st, 2025 regular session minutes, do so by show of hands. The motion was made by Alderman Metcalf. I want to make clarification, and second by Alderman Hutchinson. All in favor, show of hands, and it does carry. I just want to make sure clarification since we kind of had a stereo. Okay. As for scheduled guests and visitors tonight, we did have Chris Russell from the Ozark Chamber, but because of some issues, he cannot be here tonight. So we'll begin with Ozark History River District, Julian Johnson, chairperson. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me this evening. I've proposed a presentation for everyone, so that way we can all get some visuals, because I'm a visual person. So thank you for all of your support throughout the year through the Historic River District. We're all very appreciative of it. Oh, I forgot I have this. Okay, thank you. These are the 4 committees. These are the most important committees within our organization. As you can see, there are 4. Each of these committees have an important responsibility to make the organization move smoothly. If you want to learn more about it, feel free to ask more, email me, or go to our website. This is a map of our boundary. In the blue is what our boundary is, all of the Historic River District. And of course, I put an arrow where we are currently. You can find this on our website as well. We have 2 of our board members. This is a requirement of a certificate of achievement. Our board members are required to take this test. So 2 of them this year have completed. First of our unique events, this was during one of our board meetings in February. We had a special guest, Lane Pierce, from the Springfield Astronomical Society, educating the board on dark sky. And then in April, we had a sold-out event for Gala at the Garrison, which is one of our biggest fundraisers. The night was filled with local lore, cocktails, and fine dining, as well as some fun networking. And through the first half of our year in 2025, our local anthropologist and advisor, Catherine Dowdy, led the design committee on historic preservation, specifically throughout the national level umbrella. So I just want to make note, the top left is the first month, January, and then following down, our attendance had gotten bigger, so we had to move into a bigger room in the library. May was Historic Preservation Month, so we had Missouri Main Street visit with us, and we took a fun photo that this place matters. So we wanted to show you that. In May, we hosted a business social. In June, we hosted the Cruisin' on the Square, a pie contest, as well as Sunset on the Square with one of the local bands we've hired, and a car show. And then in August, or I'm sorry, at the end of July, we had 4 members, one being Miss Jean Ann, taking their time to the annual conference. It was held in St. Charles, Missouri this year. Lots of feedback from this event. And then throughout time with design committee wrapping up historic preservation education, we spent our hours committee time cleaning up the area. So we picked up trash, pulled weeds, did what we could to make the area look nice, shiny, and bright. Then in October, we hosted our annual haunted walking tour with some obstacles in our path, like rain and not great weather to be outside. The committee was able to adapt and accommodate and moved everything into the VFW building, which was very nice. And then in November, we had Kristen with Show Me Christian County, Valerie from the city, and Diane, our executive director, attended a workshop in Clinton, Missouri, which is my hometown. So I was honored to have representation of the Historic River District there. Learned about downtown vacant to vibrant. And then recently we hosted a holiday party. This is just a thank you to all of our volunteers. And then recently, last Friday, was our Friday Night Lights event. We had a great attendance, even with the cold temperatures. Santa was in a great mood, picking up letters. And then in September, I got my time frame mixed up. We did enter a grant through the Impact 100. Unfortunately, we were not selected, but we were given $1,000, which we unanimously voted to donate to the Christian County, the ADA compliant ramp project. This is just two of our board members discussing our upcoming events poster that we will be revamping for the 2026 year once we get dates confirmed. This is the Finley River Community Foundation Light Pole Banner Project. We entered this in 2024 and completed it just recently by reworking some of the National Historic banners. So these are all downtown, all and only National Historic District banners. And a big thank you to the Ozark Public Works team for helping us out. And then we just recently completed the Finley River Community Foundation Light Pole Banner Grant Round 2 2025's project. This will, these are our logos spanning from the Mill Pond Bridge heading west towards 65. I think they stop close to the OC's entrance. And then we also placed some on the Mill Pond Bridge. So again, thank you to the Public Works team. And here is the new estimated time frame to complete the kiosk downtown. The board just recently voted on a new quote with a few little hiccups with the supplier and manufacturer, but we are very eager and anxious to get this moving forward. So we have a new date of February of 2026. And then these are just some fun pictures I've had some folks share with me, showing the different logos and stickers throughout town. So a few at a bank, a few at the historic morgue. We are also being displayed at the rodeo, the Ozark Booster Club. And then a fun mug. I get to see that mug every Thursday morning. And again, because of your support, we are able to hire an executive director and a marketing manager for 2026. Any questions, comments, concerns?
Okay. Any questions from the board? Okay. Yes.
One comment, the Friday Night Lights, which I attended along with a number of members of the community, was such a success. It's really makes you think what it's all about, having a community in the heart of the community and people actually traveling the heart, staying in the heart with their families and being photographed, enjoying family activities.
Yes, Amber did a great job. She knows how to make memories.
Yes. And yes, the train ride was a long line.
Yes.
Getting tickets for that.
Well, they get cocoa.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I wasn't writing it, but I just noticed how
Yeah.
that
Good.
seemed to be the longest line and all.
Thank
Anyway,
you all for coming.
anyone else? Okay, again, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate
Okay,
the time.
okay. Okay, next we'll welcome Paul White. He's here to speak.
I believe Mr. White is here.
Oh, okay.
I don't see him in the audience.
Okay, then we'll move on. We have by Zoom, we have Buddy Huggins by Zoom.
Hello. I'm just making sure you can hear me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Y'all been so wonderful to me, and I want you to know I really appreciate it. But what I wanted to do tonight is to test my software so you can actually hear something that is near and dear to me. And instead of me speaking it, I'm going to have my computer system read it. Yeah, as a person with learning disabilities, I want people to know that this is accessible through the city. If I can do it, then you can do it, and you don't have to come to the meeting if you're homebound. So that's why I'm doing this. I want y'all to, kind of get that as my theme of what I'm talking about.
My name is Buddy Huggins, a resident of Ozark. Good evening, Mayor, board members, chief, and staff. Thank you all for your service to our community this year. It's been great seeing Ozark grow safely and responsibly. I've appreciated the opportunity to share thoughts at these meetings throughout 2025 on topics like public safety tech and development. As the year wraps up, I wanted to thank you for the dialogue on the flock camera system. I know these tools have helped solve crimes and keep our streets safer, and I support our police having effective resources. That said, like many residents, I'm still interested in more transparency around how these systems work. Things like data retention, who accesses the info, and safeguards to protect everyday folks' privacy. Nationwide, there are ongoing discussions about these kinds of tools to make sure they're used responsibly without overreach. I'll be filing a simple sunshine law request soon for the full contract details, just to better understand it myself. No criticism intended, just wanting to stay informed as a taxpayer. I also wanted to note my concerns about the new Burger King project, hoping it brings jobs, but watching impacts on traffic and local feel. I'm grateful for how you've handled public input this year, and I'll plan to keep attending in 2026 to follow up and learn more. Transparency builds trust, and I believe we're all working toward the same goal, a safe open. Ozark, thank you for your time. God bless.
All right, that ends that part of the presentation. I hope everybody could hear it. It's trial and error. To learn these things, you got to try and you got to commit yourself to doing it. And public speaking has not been easy for me, but y'all have made me feel welcome. And I want you to know that I appreciate it. As we move forward in this new year, I want a couple of things to come to the forefront, and that is onevoicenow.org. There is a mechanism already available for us that we're not taking advantage of, and that's the local public broadcast system. And we have the tools and the ability to have a wider audience, not only in Ozark, but in the whole county, in Springfield even. That charter is just sitting there waiting to be activated at no cost to the city or the county. And I want the county to come in with us and have them do the same public broadcast system, like they've spent the money to build their ability to have live videos. And this is all transparency based. And this is what's going to move us forward in the future when we really have something critical to talk about. Right now, we're talking about non-critical situations, but in the near future, it would behoove us to work with public broadcast system in Ozark. They're at the college there, and someone in the public that knows the people behind the scenes can explain to us how we can use the charter freely. In other words, there's a space of time that they will actually give us, and we can use their studio to do the presentations, and we can upload through streaming programs that will reach a huge audience, way bigger than what you're reaching right now. So as the year goes on, I want to educate everybody on that, and we'll be able to educate the population of what is right now not critical, but what might be in the future critical. And that's when everybody's voice needs to be heard. I can't tell if I'm running out of time, so.
How much time?
That's it.
Oh, you just now ran out of time, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for being here tonight. Okay, we have no second readings or consent agenda tonight. We're going to now draw attention to first readings, and these are all formal public hearing bills, and we'll begin with bill number 3717.
Yes, Your Honor, I move that we place bill number 3717 on its first reading by title and brief description only.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, the motion is we place bill number 3717 on its first reading by title only. That motion was made by Alderman Metcalf. It was seconded by Alderman Aiken. All in favor of voting on the motion to discuss bill 3717, do so by show of hands. And that does carry.
An ordinance amending the corporate boundaries of the city of Ozark, Missouri by annexing an approximately 0.39 acre parcel of real property located at 1808 South 14th Avenue.
The public hearing now for Bill 3717 is now open, and we'll recognize our community Director Randall Whitman.
Thank you, and good evening. These next 4 agenda items take us south of South Street on 14th Avenue. But the next two particular cases will deal with an annexation and zoning of a property at 1808 14th Avenue. As always, we look at these characteristics of the properties when they're proposing to be annexed. In this case, the property is contiguous or connects to the city limits on the north, east, south, and west side. There's a little bit there across 14th that it won't be in the city. The property is in good standing with the state of Missouri. It's within Tier 1 of the city's urban service area, and it is within 300 feet of the city's utilities, directly across the street, in fact. We've got a zoning case, but just at a glance, you can see all the properties surrounding it are single family. A couple different zoning districts, but they are all single family in use. The comprehensive plan supports this annexation in a number of ways, mainly through the notion that we need to annex properties that are within the city boundaries that are not connected to the city's utilities, to eliminate opportunities for private wells and private septic tanks, things like that. And again, the comprehensive plan recommends or supports single-family residential for this property. The Planning and Zoning Commission had a hearing as well on November 24th and recommended support or your support of annexation of this property. I'll take any questions if there are any.
Okay. Any question for Director Randall? I'm not saying. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. Is anyone here who wishes to speak for Bill number 3717? This is your time you come to the mic. I'm not seeing anyone here who would speak against Bill 3717. This is your time. Okay, I'm not seeing movement. Therefore, the public hearing for Bill 3717 is now closed, and 3717 will be held at a future meeting. Now we're going to draw attention now to Bill number 3718.
Your Honor, I move that we place Bill number 3718 on its first reading by title and brief description only.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, the motion is that we place Bill number 3718 on its first reading by title only, and that motion was made by Alderman Metcalf, second by Alderman Hutchinson. All in favor of voting on the motion to discuss Bill 3718, do so with a show of hands, and that does carry.
An ordinance of the City of Ozark, Missouri, amending the zoning code and official map by changing the zoning classification of certain real property located at 1808 South 14th Avenue.
Okay, the public hearing now for Bill 3718 is now open, and we'll again recognize Director Randall Whitman.
I wish I had some new slides, different slides, but these are the same slides as we had with the previous zoning case. But this is the follow-up to the annexation presentation to zone this property to single family is what they propose. It's currently in the county as a R1 county suburban. There we go. As usual, we look at what the comprehensive plan provides in terms of support, what the existing uses are, existing zoning, trends in the area. In this case, as I said, it's all single family in just about every direction. It's a single family use. This particular annexation zoning case is to facilitate connection to the city's water and sewer, which is again across the street. They would become citizens of the city of Ozark and continue to enjoy their residence. Again, the comprehensive plan supports connecting the city's utilities, supports single family housing. The Planning and Zoning Commission also had a hearing on this and recommended support of the zoning as well. So I'll answer any questions if there are any.
Any questions, Fire Director? Okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Okay, at this time, is anyone here who wants to speak for Bill number 3718? This is your time. Okay, I'm seeing no movement. Anyone here who will speak against Bill 3718? Okay, there's no movement, so therefore, the public hearing for Bill 3718 is now closed, and it will be held over to a future meeting. Now, we're going to draw attention to Bill number 3719.
Yes, Your Honor, I move that we place Bill number 3719 on its first reading by title and brief description only.
And do we have a second?
Second.
The motion is we place Bill number 3719 on its first reading by title only. The motion was made by Alderman Metcalf, second by Alderman Snyder. All in favor of voting on the motion to discuss Bill 3719, do so by show of hands, and that does carry.
An ordinance amending the corporate boundaries of the city of Ozark, Missouri by annexing an approximately 5.96 acre parcel of real property located at 1433 East Warren Avenue.
Okay, at this time, the public hearing for Bill number 3719 is now open, and we welcome back Director Whitman.
Thank you. This is coincidentally in the same part of the city, just a few hundred feet south of the last two agenda items. This is almost 6 acres at the corner of Warren Avenue and 14th Avenue. So in terms of the annexation, I think we're on the wrong one, Maria. Oops, it's okay. They're the same slides. I could probably use them and make it work. This is a proposal to annex 6 acres. It's currently zoned in the county as, there we go. I think it's the county residence district. There is a significant area of the property there in blue that's in a floodplain and a sinkhole, but it is contiguous to the city limits on the north side and west side across 14th Avenue. I want to be clear, there's a little narrow strip on the west side, 2 residences there that will not be part of this proposal, but it is within Tier 1 of our urban service area. It's in good standing, and it's within 300 feet of the city's utilities, water and sewer. The comprehensive plan, again, recommends that we annex properties on the edge of the perimeter of the city for infill, mainly to discourage septic tanks and private wells, and to encourage any development to tie to the city's urban services and urban facilities. The recommended land use is parks and recreation, and I suspect the reason they identified it that way is because in an effort to protect the geography, the geology, the sinkhole in that area. This does not mean that the city is intended to buy the property and own it, but just to discourage any type of more intense development. But the zoning they've recommended is a single family, and that's about as the lowest intensity we could have in the city. So again, the area that's shown there, that's the floodplain and sinkhole area, would be protected by the Smalley Cave Recharge Protection Ordinance. That would basically give some protection, a 50-foot buffer around that area. No development can take place with that, or I should say any further development. So you can see the northern portion of the property represents the best place for the homeowner to build a home or do any type of development with that. And there is plenty of area to do that. Again, water and sewer is just north of that, so it's possible to connect to that. No sidewalks or trail improvements would be part of this annexation or zoning. We'll talk about the zoning in a minute, but everything to the west and north is single family. Everything, even in the county, is single family as well. There is kind of an obscure piece of property there to the northeast that's zoned R4. It's a landlocked piece of property, but it's not sure how that happened, not sure how it became to be there, but it's just kind of the circumstances. The Planning and Zoning Commission had a hearing on this in November as well and recommended your support of the annexation. I'll answer any questions.
Any questions? Yes, Alderman Snyder.
Hey, with respect to the sinkhole that was mentioned, are there any concerns about that particular piece of property with the sinkhole on it?
No, I mean, there is from time to time some reported flooding, but annexing the property and having it connect to the city's utilities is the best thing we can do to protect the sinkhole and protect it from, the septic tank being built next to it, if you will. So there's no issues with it. I mean, any development they would do, if they encroach into that area or propose to, which, as I said, they can't really, they would have to do a sinkhole study or a design study on it. So,
okay, thanks.
Anyone else? Okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Okay. Is anyone here who will speak for Bill 3719? This is your time. Okay, I'm seeing no movement. Anyone here who will speak against Bill 3719? Okay, I'm seeing no movement. Therefore, the public hearing for Bill 3719 is now closed and be held over a future meeting. Now we're going to draw attention now to Bill number 3720.
Yes, Your Honor, I move that we place Bill number 3720 on its first reading by title and brief description only.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, the motion is to place Bill number 3720 on its first reading by title only. That motion was made by Alderman Metcalf, second by Alderman Aiken. All in favor of voting on the motion to discuss Bill 3720, do so with a show of hands, and that does carry.
An ordinance of the City of Ozark, Missouri, amending the zoning code and official map by changing the zoning classification of certain real property located at 1433 East Warren Avenue.
Okay, so the public hearing for Bill number 3720 is now open, and we welcome back Director Whitman.
Thank you. Once again, same slide, same property. They're proposing to annex this and rezone it to single family. RSF1 is the least intense zoning district we have aside from an agriculture district. Again, zoning, we're looking at comparable land impacts, surrounding zoning, surrounding trends, recommendations from the comprehensive plan. Saying the same thing over, but everything to the north and east is single family. Same recommendations from the comprehensive plan. It does recommend this property be a recreational use to protect the geography, the geology of the area. Single family, again, is very low intensity. Connecting to the city utilities is the best thing we could do for protect the sinkhole and the floodplain. Any development that does happen that potentially threatens that would happen at the time of development, and we would review any plans or proposals at that time, not during the zoning hearing. Same thing goes, as I said before, any development has to stay 50 foot from that boundary or identified boundary of the sinkhole and the floodplain. No sidewalks or other improvements are required as part of that development. I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Okay, any questions for our director? I'm not seeing any. Thank you, sir. Okay, anyone here who wishes to speak for Bill 3720? This is your time. Okay, anyone who wants to speak against Bill 3720? Okay, I see no movement. Therefore, the public hearing for Bill number 3720 is now closed and will be held over a future meeting. Now let's draw attention to Bill number 3721.
Yes, Your Honor, I move that we place Bill number 3721 on its first reading by title and brief description only.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay. The motion is we place Bill number 3721 on its first reading by title only. That motion was made by Alderman Metcalf, second by Alderman Hutcherson. All in favor of voting on the motion to discuss Bill 3721, do so by show of hands. And it does carry.
An ordinance of the City of Ozark, Missouri, amending the zoning code and official map by changing the zoning classification of certain real property located at 6101 North 23rd Street.
Okay. And at this time, the public hearing for Bill number 3721 is now open. And once again, welcome back.
This zoning case takes us to the north side of the city, just south of Walk-On Drive on 23rd Street. You'll remember this property was annexed in zone, I believe it was in April. A development was proposed there to expand the existing businesses there for en route. They bought this property, zoned it to industrial zoning. After we got to looking at their plans for the property, how it could be developed with what they had in mind, I think they realized that the setbacks didn't accommodate their plans adequately. We took a second look at it with them. The office warehouse zoning reduces their north and south side setbacks, gives them a little more room to develop and fit their building and their site together. So they've requested to have the property zoned to office warehousing. As usual, we look at the recommendations from the plan surrounding zoning, and as you can see, the properties, it's recommended to be mixed use, and it's probably it's a mixture of uses. There's everything from manufacturing to single family to commercial property that's inside the city, property that's outside the city. This was once a residential subdivision, so that's why some of that residential zoning still exists. But it is a manufacturing commercial area, so office warehousing as well as an industrial zoning would be appropriate for this property. Again, the city's comprehensive plan recommended it as mixed use, and it recommends that we do our best to connect those properties to the city's utilities, water and sewer. Sewer is to the west of the property. There's water adjacent to it as well. That'll be part of the development proposal. Again, office warehouse will get them the setbacks they need to fit their building, put their site together as they kind of desire. I'll be glad to answer any questions there are. Planning and Zoning Commission did recommend approval of this as well.
Okay, any questions for Director Whitman? Okay, thank you, sir. Okay. Is anyone here who wishes to speak for bill number 3721? I know the developer's here, but that's totally your choice. Okay. Okay. Anyone else who wants to speak for bill number 3721? Okay, I'm not seeing movement. Therefore, anyone here will speak against bill 3721. This is your time. Okay, I'm not seeing movement. Therefore, the public hearing for bill number 3721 is now closed and it'll be held at a future meeting. Now let's draw attention to our last bill is 3722.
Your Honor, I make a motion that we place Bill 3722 on first reading by title only.
Second.
Okay. The motion is we place bill number 3722 on its first reading by title only. That motion was made by Alderman Aiken, second by Alderman Metcalf. All in favor of voting on the motion to discuss bill 3722, do so by show of hands. And that does carry.
An ordinance of the City of Ozark, Missouri, authorizing the city to enter into a contract with D&E Plumbing and Heating, Inc. for construction of the Finley River Trail extension. And Your Honor, I was just reading this bill. I believe a word has been possibly left out where it says 3 bids. I think it should say 3 responsive bids because there were overall 5. And so I would just like to present that to the board that on second reading,
Okay.
I would anticipate to add that word.
Okay, I understand. Thank you for the update. Okay. Okay. So at this time, we'll recognize our Public Work Director, Jimmy Parson.
All right, good evening. You'll notice that this is a project that you've seen several times in front of the board. It's okay. It's okay. I can tell a few dad jokes if you want me to. No, this is a project, as you all know, the current trail, the Finley River Trail, ends abruptly underneath the Jackson Street Bridge. And we've been working on this for several years to get the appropriate alignment. The last time I came to you, we were looking at a potential increase in the actual amount of money that was allocated for the program agreement because of some additional design requirements, primarily desired by Finley Farms. So we've worked through those. You guys know the game plan, nodes of activity, connectivity, all those things. This is a critical gap that we really want to fill so that we can continue on to Garrison, to the park, all of these things. When we first worked with Finley Farms, they identified this route. We have since worked with them. This kind of looks like, I don't know if you guys are weather people, but spaghetti graph when they try to go out and forecast hurricanes and they go every which way. This is what we felt like every time we tried to propose a new alignment, but we landed on one. And we landed on one that was best for the city and that's best for the property owners in that area. So ultimately, all those conversations worked out. What we came up with is kind of a zigzag approach to it, but it preserves some really nice old growth trees in that area. It does include, if I go back, you can kind of see in that corner up there, a pedestrian bridge that crosses the wet weather stream there that comes into the Findlay. And it also, I want you to notice that it finishes out the intersection of NN and Jackson. That would be on the northeast corner there. We've got some gravel down there now, but that will actually help pay for that concrete as well. So as Brenna mentioned, we did have 5 total qualified bidders. This is all about connecting and filling the gap. Bids were received on 11/6. Engineer's estimate was at 505. We came to the board and were authorized up to $536,000 through the program agreement. But good news, of those bids, we received a range from $380,000 to $602,000 roughly. D&E Plumbing and Heating Incorporated was the lowest qualified bidder. I feel like it's my duty to explain that D&E Plumbing is a group that's been around since 1977 who started their careers in the plumbing and heating industry. They have since expanded to a large excavation and kind of focusing on civil improvements, if you will, such as infrastructure, roads, things of that nature. Probably the most recent local example, if you take Highway 14 due west to Nixa, they did all the Main Street improvements there. They also did the very large intersection of Campbell and Republic Road. They do a lot of projects for MoDOT. So they're not just heating and plumbing. I think they just wanted to hold on to that name because of the notoriety of that name. So what we're asking for tonight is to get going. We're finally here. With that $380,000 bid, our match will be roughly $76,000. And again, it's all about relationships. I can't tell you how many meetings we had. Love to meet with these people, love to see their vision. And I love that we finally came up with an alignment that works for everyone. So we are excited about getting going. And I'd be happy to answer any questions about this project.
Okay. Yes, Alderman Hutcherson.
Timeline?
Yeah, timeline, we're wanting to get started as quickly as possible. When we met with the contractor to get some contract documents, we're thinking realistically probably starting early February. I'm really pushing. I hope that we're able to get that before some of the events that we have in June that you're well aware of. I don't know if that is the case. The biggest thing that I'm getting pushback on is the bridge portion, and that's prefabricated, and there's a wait time on that. So as soon as we get this executed, we will order that bridge immediately, but it can't happen soon enough. And I say we break a bottle of apple cider on that bridge when we're done. So.
Okay. Anyone else? Question for Director Parson. Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Is there anyone here who would to speak regarding bill number 3722? Okay, I'm not seeing movement. Therefore, bill number 3722 will be held at a future meeting. Now we're going to draw attention. We have 2 resolutions tonight, which both are dealing with reappointments. And so we first will look at resolution 2033.
Your Honor, I move that we read Resolution 2033 by title only.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. Okay. The motion is that we read Resolution 2033 by title only. That motion was made by Alderman Galloway. It was seconded by Alderman Snyder. All in favor of voting on the motion to discuss Resolution 2033, do so by show of hands. It does carry.
A resolution by the Board of Aldermen of the City of Ozark, Missouri, approving 2 reappointments to the Town and Country Village Community Improvement District Board of Directors.
Okay, and I think our City Administrator, Eric Johnson, is up now.
Yes, Your Honor. This resolution will reappoint 2 members to the Town and Country Village Community Improvement District. This district was formed by the Board of Aldermen in 2009.
and it has 5 members, and they have 4-year terms. They are staggering terms. And before you tonight are the reappointment of 2 individuals. One individual is Dennis McIntyre. The other individual is Curtis Deal. Both individuals have served on this particular district for some time, and this is a reappointment. Happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Yes, ma'am.
Where is the district located?
I'm sorry, this is the B&B Theater.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay. Is there anyone here tonight who speak regarding Resolution 2033? This is your time. Okay, I'm not seeing movement, so we'll continue.
Your Honor, I move that we adopt Resolution 2033.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, the motion is that we adopt Resolution 2033. All in favor of this motion to do so by a show of hands. And it does carry. Okay. Now let's draw attention to our second resolution, 2034.
Yes, Your Honor, I move that we read Resolution 2034 by a brief title only.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, the motion is that we read by title only Resolution 2034, that was made by Alderman Metcalf, second by Alderman Hutchinson. All in favor of voting on the motion to discuss Resolution 2034, do so by show of hands. And that does carry.
A resolution by the Board of Aldermen of the City of Ozark, Missouri, approving 1 reappointment to the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Okay, and we'll welcome back our Director, Randall Whitman.
Your staff supports the reappointment of Lacey back to the Planning and Zoning Commission. I think this is reappointment is necessary to do some absences, and I think there was actually only 2 absences, so the one of which we had some technical difficulties and couldn't make a connection via Zooms, but we're supportive of this.
Okay, any questions for our Director? Okay, thank you. Anyone here tonight wish to speak regarding Resolution 2034? Okay, I'm not seeing any, therefore.
Yes, Your Honor, I move that we enact Resolution 2034.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, the motion is that we enact Resolution 2034. That was made by Alderman Metcalf. It was seconded by Alderman Snyder. All in favor of voting on the motion to enact Resolution 2034, do so by show of hands. And it does pass. Okay, we're finished with our bills this time. Now we'll go to our reports from our officers. Begin with our City Administrator, Eric Johnson.
Yes, Your Honor. Just a few announcements. This Thursday, we have a work session with the board, and that will be from 11:30 until 1:30, 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. And we have 3 agenda items, and we do anticipate using the full 2 hours for that. Also, we will be closed next week on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day to observe the holiday. So I just want to remind you of that. And want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, because the next time we'll be meeting will be January 5th in the new year. And we will be closed on New Year's Day as well. And those are all the reports I have. Thank you, Your Honor.
Any questions for our Director, Administrator? Okay, now we'll welcome our back, Randall Whitman, at Planning Development.
Last time. The only thing I have to add to my report is we've got a commission meeting a week from tonight. We think we've got 3 agenda items, a annexation, a zoning case to go with it on south of Ozark Heights, a 10-acre tract of land. And we also have a rezoning of some property here on 3rd Street at 1308 from C2 to C4. That's for a daycare. It'll be on the east side, or the east side of 3rd Street. So.
Any question regarding his report that we received? Okay, thank you, sir. Yeah. Next, we'll welcome our Hayden, our OC Park and Recreation Director.
Good evening. I have nothing substantial to add to my report, and I certainly would like to invite everyone to join us at the Finley River Festival of Lights for the next 10 days before we wrap up the season. So, with that, I'll take any questions.
Yes, ma'am.
I've had several people ask, the lights seem to be, the snowflakes, are they, on the street lights seem to be going up later this year than they have in previous years. Do you have a, can you explain that?
So ultimately, the team that puts the Christmas lights up in the park is the same team that does the snowflakes. We had a big hand from Public Works and the right-of-way crew this year getting those up. It's a new thing for us, and so we're finding out the right schedule. Ultimately, they went out just around the 1st of December. We have to make the decision on, do we put them up in October and then do lights, or do we put them up there? And so we're just kind of walking through what that process looks like. But that's that one.
Thank you.
I no problem.
Okay, anyone else for Director Hayden? Okay, thank you. Any comments from our board? I do want to make a comment regarding our CIP booklet. It looks very professional, looks great, and appreciate all the work that went into the publication of it. I'm not talking about the work beforehand of all the directors and y'all getting the information together, but do appreciate the work and how it looks and getting it together for us to have tonight. Any comments from our directors? Excuse me, our alderman. Okay, well, same here. If I don't see you, have a great coming up holiday. Merry Christmas with your family and friends and New Year. So if not, is there a motion for adjournment?
Motion to adjourn, please.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, there's a motion for adjournment made by Alderman Snyder, a second by Alderman Aiken. All in favor of the motion to adjourn, do so by show of hands. And it does carry, and we stand adjourned.